ladies and gentlemen of the press, and fellow citizens. Thank you for gathering here today. I stand before you not only as a legislator, but as a committed advocate for the democratic values that underpin our great nation, Kenya. Today, I wish to address a matter of profound importance that affects the very fabric of our democracy: the proposed amendment of the Constitution of Kenya regarding term limits for elected officials. As you are aware, the current proposal that is before the Senate seeks to extend the presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 years to 7 years. I firmly believe that this change poses significant risks to our democratic principles. I have formally submitted a memorandum to the Senate Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, that is JLAC, articulating my strong opposition to this proposed amendment. And here are my reasons. 1. Threat to democratic accountability. Extending term limits undermines the very foundation of accountability. In our governance, a 7-year term would diminish the frequency with which citizens can evaluate their leaders, making it harder to demand change when necessary. Risk of authoritarianism. Longer terms can lead to entrenched political power, creating an environment where leaders may resist change or fail to respond effectively to public needs. This could erode our hard-won democratic freedoms. Public distrust and discontent. There is widespread public opposition to this proposal. Many view it as a self-serving and potential threat to democratic governance, reflecting a disconnect between elected officials and the citizens they serve. Potential for increased political tension. The competitive nature of our politics often leads to heightened tensions during election periods. A longer term could exacerbate feelings of disenfranchisement among citizens if they cannot vote out unpopular leaders. And of course, the historical context. Our nation has fought hard for constitutional reforms that promote transparency and limit the entrenchment of political power. This proposal disregards those struggles and aspirations. Distraction from critical issues. This amendment may serve as a diversion from pressing national issues such as economic challenges and governance failures, detracting from meaningful discourse on solutions that truly benefit our citizens. Now, with that, I have also proposed, after opposing the 7-year term, I have now proposed a different amendment to that issue. And what is my amendment? I'm proposing a 4-year term limit. 4 years, yes. Therefore, I'm moving an amendment that proposes a 4-year term limit for the President, members of Parliament, senators, governors, and members of county assemblies. Why 4 years? Because it enhances accountability, encourages political participation, it gives new leadership opportunities, it provides prevention of power consolidation, and of course adaptability in governance. It strengthens the democratic norms, and those are some of the reasons. But I can give you and elaborate in a minute what I mean by enhanced accountability. A 4-year term empowers citizens to hold their leaders accountable more frequently. Voters deserve the right to evaluate their representatives and make necessary changes based on performance. Encouragement of political participation. Shorter terms can invigorate public interest in politics. When citizens know they can influence leadership decisions every 4 years, they are more likely to engage in the electoral process. But in 7 years, they will give up and will give a chance to bad governance. New leadership opportunities. Our democracy thrives on fresh ideas and perspectives. A 4-year term allows for new leaders to emerge, fostering innovation and responsiveness to the needs of our diverse population. Prevention of power consolidation. Longer terms can lead to entrenched power among political elites, which undermines democratic processes. A 4-year term limit helps ensure that no single individual or party can dominate our political landscape indefinitely. Adaptability in governance. In a rapidly changing world, shorter terms enable governance to respond swiftly to emerging challenges and public needs, ensuring that we remain relevant and effective in our governance. Strengthening democratic norms. By adopting a 4-year term limit, Kenya would align itself with global democracies or global democratic practices that prioritize regular transition in leadership, reinforcing our commitment to democracy. And as you are aware, this is something that has been exercised in the democratic worlds like America, Ghana, and others. Conclusion. As we move forward with this amendment proposal, I urge my fellow legislators and all Kenyans to reflect on the values we hold dear. That is accountability, participation, and adaptability in governance. Let us not allow self-serving interests to dictate our democratic future. I invite all stakeholders, that is civil society organizations, political parties, and ordinary citizens, to join this conversation as we work together to build a stronger democracy for all Kenyans. Thank you for your attention. I need to add a few lines, and the reason why I came up with this proposal. It is a proposal that every Kenyan would want to align with, a 4-year term proposal, because Kenyans are tired. They for sure would want to do away with the current situation. Now, members of the fourth estate, looking at the person who proposed this amendment, the 7-year term, looking at where he comes from, looking at how he voted in the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, where he voted that Gachagua should go home. This 7-year term proposal is a grand scheme for people to retain power. And it's not just the president. All those, and especially those who kicked out the deputy president. Because they know, and they know the people that they serve are against or were against such a move. So what they want is because they understand they cannot be voted for in 2027. They want to take this opportunity and sneak another half term in their 5-year term. They want to change the constitution so that they remain in power. From the president, from the members of parliament, and from the Senate. I don't want to talk about the MCAs because they're good people. Actually, those ones should be given more time because they stay in the village. But whoever is bringing this proposal, they're sneaking themselves, or they want to extend their term because they know they have gone against the people in terms of the finance bill, in terms of impeaching the deputy president. So that's why they want to do this. And finally, as I ask Kenyans, if you have ever told yourself that you are going to exercise Article 1 and Article 2 of the Constitution, that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya, if you have ever thought that you would want to invoke that article, the time is now. The time is now. You can imagine the leaders who are proposing a 7-year term. They could not tolerate one of their own for the next 2 years. That is the DP. They could not tolerate it. They kicked him out before he finishes his term. Why do they think that you should tolerate them for 7 years? Can you imagine the discontent that is there in this country, that people can go on with it for the next 7 years? So this is a time for each and every person to rise up and say no to this 7-year term and support my motion. We actually reduced from 5 to 4. I wish we can go 3. But we go to 4. That has been exercised by other democracies. So mine is to say that I'm going to oppose this. And there are several senators who are also opposing this issue of 7-year term. But we need your inducement. We have realized they act on inducement from the public. So wake up and talk to the people of Kenya and talk to the leaders, and especially senators, because it's at the Senate. We are 67. So, I mean, we can talk to 67 people. And from what happened from the impeachment of the deputy president, Kenyans had high hopes with the Senate, but they no longer hold the same view. They no longer hold the same view of trusting the Senate. Because if the Senate, after listening to the accusation of the deputy president, voted the way they voted, that tells you they have premeditated kind of voting. And if we are quiet on the 7-year term, the same premeditated, the same invested on or in kind of voting will occur. The other day, I was on a TV interview with one of the senators, who is the deputy majority leader at the Senate. The deputy majority leader, leading us, the senator of Nakuru. And when we were asked why he voted the way he voted by impeaching the deputy president, the answer was, I was voting not because of the allegations, not because there was justice. I was voting for the sake of peace in Nakuru. I want you to reflect on that answer. For the sake of peace. So that means if she voted no, there will be no peace in Nakuru, if we were to go with the statement. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Not to realize what is happening behind the scenes. Yesterday, everybody was looking at Gachagwa's court case and following and whatever was happening. At that particular time, the court okayed the affordable housing. Nobody is talking about it. So it is a scheme that we look at Gachagua, we look at the deputy president, we look at what is happening, and then all of a sudden, the 7-year term. Can you imagine a 7-year term of the current governance? A 7-year term. I mean, people would hang themselves. No one would want to tolerate this regime for another 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. And it is a good example from them. They have shown us by example. If they cannot tolerate one of them, one of their own, how would they expect us to tolerate them after they have given us so many promises? Yes, sir.
Senator, my name is Maoni Tofauti. During the public participation, Kenyans said Kufa dereva, Kufa Makanga, and the process to Kufa Makanga has already kicked off by that impeachment. Are you contemplating coming up with an impeachment motion against the president? Use that term limit?
And I want to caution Kenyans a little bit when they say Kufa dereva, Kufa Makanga. Remember, you're in that matatu. So when you say kufa dereva, kufa makanga, tunakufa wote. I want to tell them, sema shuka dereva, shuka makanga, tuwajue nchi. Shuka dereva, shuka makanga. And you can only do that by coming out and opposing some of these things. I am not in the process of any impeachment. I have not had any impeachment motion of anyone. But what I'm trying to tell the nation is this is the right time to start speaking. You spoke, the finance bill flopped. I mean, what else do you want? How else do you want to be told that if you speak, things happen? So this is the right time for you to speak. Yes. Yes.
Umezungumzia kitu kizuri sana kuhusiana na hii public participation, na tuliona kule kwa masokata ambapo hoja kumbaliwa na Rais ililetwa. Wakenya walitafsiriwa kutoka kwa Kimombo hadi Kiswahili ili wasome waelewe kile ambacho wanaenda kukipigia kura, ni waseme ndio au la. Lakini hii tumambiwa they have until Friday wajitokeza watoe maoni yao. Hatuoni vijikaratasi vimechapishwa vimetafsiriwa kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Kule kijijini aelewe kile ambacho tunazungumzia.
Na ndio maana nimekuja leo kuambia Wakenya, wakati ni sasa wa kuacha kile ambacho unafanya. Kwanza tutetee nchi yetu na tulinde katiba yetu. Sababu yule amekuja na huu mfumo wa miaka 7. Ati rais akae kwa kiti miaka 7. Ati mbunge na seneta wakae kwa kiti miaka 7. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kuna watu wataki kutoka mamlakani. Na ukiangalia mwenye ameleta hoja hili kwenye ametoka na vile alipiga kura ya kumfurusha Gachagua, inaonekana huu ni mpango. Now that Gachagua ametoka, yule ambaye tulikuwa tunamwaminia kuongea mambo yetu haswa watu wa Mlima, sasa wametoa yeye, sababu yeye sio mtu wa yeye sio punda ya kusukumwa, ati unapiga kidogo inavuruta. Kwa hivyo wameamua kumtoa ndio waendeleze maneno kama haya. Na ndio tunasema Wakenya, kama ushaisema, umejiambia, ushaifikiria ati siku moja utatetea nchi yako, wakati ni sasa. Tukatae mfumo wa miaka 7, hata ule wa 5 ambao tuko nao tukatae, tukubaliane na hii proposal yangu nimeleta. Tuweke miaka 4 kama tutafika pale. Lakini kama hatutafika hapo, miaka 5 pia ni sawa. Lakini kama wataleta referendum wakisema lazima watubatilishe hii, tuwekewe miaka 4. Kwa hivyo mimi ningetaka kusema kwamba yale kura ya maoni ama yale walikuwa wanaita public participation, kwa sasa hawafanyi. Wameweka kwa gazeti lolote lile la kitaifa. Akina nyanya zetu, mama zetu kule vijijini hawajui nini inafanyika. Kwa hivyo ndio maana nimeamua kuongea. Ndio nikiongea msikize na tuanze kuulizana maswali. Na wakati Senate itakuja kujadilia maneno haya, mimi nauliza Wakenya, ongeeni kwanza. Mkiongea tunaogopa, kama hamjui tuwaogopa. Kwa hivyo ongeeni ndio tuogope. Unajua wakati wa kumtoa mamlakani naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua, walikuwa wanatumai watu watafanya maandamano. Walikuwa watumai nchi itachomeka. Lakini tuliambia watu wetu, hiyo ni mtego mumewekewa. Wewe nyamazeni, wacha wale wanafanya vile wafanye, wewe weka hiyo maneno kwa roho. Sababu ukitoka kwenye streets, watapiga nyinyi risasi, watachoma biashara zenu, alafu watamwekelea yeye naibu wa rais ndiye anafanya hiyo maneno. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni kumaanisha ndio maana nchi imekimya. Sababu sisi hatupigani. Na ningetaka kusema jambo moja, tulikuwa na yule seneta wa Nakuru katika kituo kimoja cha televisheni. Tunaulizwa maswali, anauliza kwa nini wewe ulipiga yes Rigathi aende? Akasema hakuangalia hata mashtaka yoyote ya Rigathi Gachagua. Yeye alipiga tu for the sake of peace katika Nakuru. Ati sababu kuna makabila yote. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kama angepiga no, kungekuwa vita. Na ni nani angeleta vita? Na ukisema yes ndio kusitokee vita, hiyo ni kumaanisha unakandamiza watu wa kabila moja ukilenga yale makabila mengine. Hiyo ni mambo ambayo ningetaka sote tujadiliane. Lakini kwa sasa nauliza Wakenya, maneno ya Gachagua iko kotini, naibu wa rais, na sisi tunatumai justice itapatikana pale. Justice haikupatikana bunge la kitaifa na haikupatikana katika Senate. Tofauti ya bunge na tofauti ya Senate ilikuwa wengine walisikiza kwa makelele, wengine wakasikiza wamekimya, lakini wote walifanya mambo sawa. Wote walifanya mambo sawa. Yes, sir. No, yeah, there are rumors. Some of those who supported the deputy president or who voted no might be removed from the chairmanship. Bring it on. I mean, I was elected by the people of Kiambu. They never knew there are chairs inside parliament. They only needed a person to defend them. So if they were to remove us for standing with justice, you know, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. As long as I belong and I stay and I remain as a senator of the great people of Kiambu. So we have been threatened, told that you are going to be removed from the chairmanship. And you know, my committee, which is roads, transportation, and housing, right now is discussing the issue of Adani. You know, it is my committee that is supposed to come up with the recommendation and the the recommendation and the report. So if probably they would want to remove us so that we don't execute, because you see, we are not sellouts. I cannot sell out. I cannot sell Kenya to anybody. So if they feel that they would want to remove us from committees because it is in the grapevine, you know, we can hear. We're even being told when Rigathi Gachagua was being impeached, we were told, if you want to retain your seat, vote yes. But you see, I'm not gullible, that I should protect my seat so that I kick somebody else out. I better remain the senator of Kiambu without any other affiliation, any other committee, any other thing, as long as I have the floor of the House. Are you sure you want to tell me? Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Yes.
Deputy party leader,
Yes.
UTA party officials have voted that there will be a next meeting to remove him as the deputy party leader. Are you, as Gachagua allies or Gachagua's allies, contemplating also forming a party?
You see, UDA says they are going to kick out the deputy president. That's where they could have started. I mean, that's where they could have started if they were serious with these things. Because for you, the UDA constitution says that the deputy party leader is the deputy president. Is going to be the deputy president. So even Kindiki himself, he's not the deputy party leader. They should have just started there, following their constitution. We follow our UDA constitution. First of all, make Kindiki the deputy party leader, and then from there, make him the deputy president. So you can see they are, I don't know why they hurry. You know, because they have time. The constitution has given the president 14 days to nominate a deputy president. It has given the parliament 60 days to scrutinize and vet and all that. So we are not worried. What we are worried about at this particular time is that the deputy president gets justice. However it is served, justice. But they always say justice must only not be done. It must be seen to be done. It has not been seen to be done at the National Assembly. It has not been seen to be done at the Senate. We are waiting for the courts. And we have a lot of hope and faith with our judiciary. The issue of new party, I don't know. I mean, I'm still a member of UDA. Yes, I don't know about anything to do with the new party. You know, we will get there. You know, we will cross the bridge once we get there. Thank you. Asanteni sana.